So I met with somebody recently who had a question of what is kind of how does intuition play into this? And when I have an intuitive thought, and I try to override that, we could say, with like a law of assumption or law of attraction, why does it sometimes not work or very often not work? And one of the examples that this person had given was that, years ago, a life event had happened to her. And when she now, in the present time, had looked at her kind of astrological chart, she could see that event actually within her chart. And so I think the question came down to, well, is everything predestined and we just feel like we've got any kind of choice that's going on in this, but really what's going to happen to us is predestined. And my first response to that was, okay, well, one, I don't actually know, right? Like I can give you a response based on my life experiences and my beliefs, but I don't really know how it all works. I mean, as far as I know, it would be mapped out that I would go down, through this and I would think that this stuff was happening, but it's not. Who knows? Like it's already in some sort of chart. I don't personally believe that. I think that your state is essentially your chart. And so everything can change. There's many different options of like the path that you're going to take. But they're all already created because God has created everything. And God to me is not just the male deity God that like religion puts out there. God is kind of life source, universe, Mother Earth, like Father Time. These are all God. Like, and we're not able to comprehend that in the way that we are because we're human and our minds just don't actually work like that. And I'm not going to be able to comprehend that, not in this lifetime, personally. So my belief, though, is that you are able to make a choice. Your free will comes into the state that you choose. And you choose that state with your thoughts and your attention and your focus and the habits that you have each day. And with that, you can actually change the trajectory of your life because you're able to perceive different things when you're in a different state of mind. Like your mind is literally open to seeing certain things based on the state that you're in because we are designed, our brains are designed to filter. Like there's so much going on in the world and so much stimuli in the world on a daily basis that we have to be able to filter. So this is my belief that you can actually choose based on your focus. Now, I also have the belief that if you are looking to say, my chart's already mapped, my tarot card said this, whatever kind of deal, and I can't change this, the psychic, whoever I went to, already told me this is what's going to happen to me, and that's what you believe, to me, that is actually showing that you have fear. You have fear that you're not able to control the things that are happening to you or to take responsibility for them. And I want to be very clear on this. I don't mean responsibility for absolutely everything that happens in your dang life. I think you can say, yes, I can change the trajectory of my life with my focus without going down a rabbit hole of I caused this death, I caused this like horrific traumatic experience in my childhood, I caused this abuse in my life, I caused this. No, we're not going to this point of like I'm controlling absolutely everything that's happening to me because I don't think you have that either. We have millions of beliefs, some so buried subconsciously down that you're not going to really get to those. And those sometimes are going to manifest in your life the same way that we believe the sun is going to come up and that the stars are going to shine at night and that grass is green and the sky is blue. And sometimes people do bad things. These are all beliefs that I know that I have that I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be able to get down to those beliefs. And when bad things happen to me, I don't go down this spiral of I caused this, I'm responsible for this, I did this. Even if something, quote unquote bad happens to something that's a loved one of mine, I'm not going to go down the spiral. And I say that because I had a traumatic event happen a few years ago. And I really struggled for a while because I was like, I don't understand. Like, is this like something I prayed for without realizing it? Is it something that I focused on that I just did like too much? Is this kind of what I deserve? Is this karma? How does this work? And at some point, I've just decided that I'm not going to understand everything and I'm not going to be able to focus on everything. But if I believe that my future is all written out in some map in the stars or written out on cards, or that some psychic knows it and I'm going to believe that, I really think that it's just fear based. It's because I don't want to say I can actually change my life, I can control this, and instead I can say it's not my fault these bad things are happening. And I know that maybe that sounds harsh, and I don't mean for it to, because I understand too that if you're looking at a chart and you're like, well, I can see this here. My question though is it like your belief that's creating this chart, or are you kind of looking at the chart and you're placing your, life events into something so that you can explain why it happened, and not really say, okay, well, maybe there were some thoughts that I had or a seed that I planted that kind of triggered these kind of events to happen. And again, I want to make it clear, I don't believe that you're at fault for stuff. I don't believe that you should beat yourself up or, kind of be so scared to have any kind of negative thought that you're stopping yourself from really thinking or feeling or having emotions, because that's like all just kind of part of what we're learning here as well. But I think intuition is really just triggered from the state that you're in. So no matter my intuition, what kind of like raises red flags for me or makes me feel like something is going to happen, it's all based on the state that I'm in. And as my state changes, the intuitions that I have change, because somehow these all work together, but I'm just never going to really know how.